And that's a wrap on 2024, ladies and gentlemen. We are done with the era or year of Shadow the Hedgehog. This has been quite an interesting year for Sonic the Hedgehog fans. More so 2 years, considering Frontiers came out only a year prior, which is just crazy to think about. But I wanted to go over everything that kind of happened this year and what we can look forward to in the future. So the big thing that happened this year was Sonic Movie 3, which had Shadow the Hedgehog being the main antagonist of the movie. And to hype everyone up for that, there was marketing throughout the year, including a new part to a remaster or remake of Sonic Generations known as Shadow Generations. So Shadow Generations and Sonic Movie 3 were the two big things this year to really captivate the era of Shadow. But prior to that, we had concerts. I'm actually going to the Sonic Symphony sometime very soon in January. We've had promo materials on the Sega and Sonic channel. We've had a bunch of interviews and talking with creators of Shadow Generations and the director and actors for Sonic Movie 3. And all in all, I think this is probably one of the best theme years around Sonic that we've gotten in a long while. I think they did a year of Knuckles when Sonic Movie 2 was coming out, and that just wasn't as big because there wasn't a game coming out with it. And yes, Shadow Generations isn't technically a brand new game, but it's big and beefy enough to be considered a good expansion to a very beloved Sonic game, which is why I think it makes it all the more special. So I wanted to quickly talk about these things and just wrap up the year for the channel and talk about the future of this channel for any of you that are interested. So we're going to start off with the game. Let's do Shadow Generations. I already had a review up on Shadow Generations. I was going to do one on the Sonic Generations part as well, but it's pretty much long gone at this point. I kind of procrastinated enough that I'm probably not going to have that one released. So if you're excited for that, I do apologize. I enjoy Sonic Generations, but playing Shadow Generations first made me realize how fine-tuned and polished that is compared to Sonic Generations. They did some things to tweak it and make it better than the original one over 10 years ago, but I just think that the Shadow Generations portion is the highlight and kind of shows what we can expect in future Sonic installments, and I really hope Sega and Sonic Team really focus on improving and using that model from Shadow Generations onward, because it's a mixture of the boost mechanic, the boost formula, along with good boss battles and cutscenes in between stages. I know it pads out the timing, but it really just makes the world seem more fleshed out and cinematic, and I just really enjoyed it. They also had the DLC for Sonic Movie 3 and Shadow Generations, which made it seem like if they wanted to, they could actually move a Sonic art style into the more hyper-realism sector, and I think that would be really cool to see on Unreal Engines. So, tangents aside, Shadow Generations is phenomenal. I had so much fun with it. I'm about 8 to 10 hours in, just grinding away, trying to S-rank everything, you know, getting 100% on my file. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. The emotional impact from the story is good, but not super traumatic or heavy. They have some great moments in there, and it's really all down to the gameplay, though. The gameplay is absolutely phenomenal, as I stated before. It's hands down a much need-to-play Sonic game for Sonic fans out there, and it's also an excuse to play an older classic game that's been kind of like mastered up. So the price point, I think, is very fair. The Sonic Movie 3 DLC is like $6. That's not that great if you didn't get the digital deluxe version, so I recommend you find that on sale if you haven't gotten it already. But let me know down in the comments, what did you think of Shadow Generations and Sonic X Shadow Generations as a whole package? I thought it was phenomenal and a great way to get people to understand who Shadow was as a character before moving forward into Sonic Movie 3. And Sonic Movie 3 was just, I still think about it every day. I need to go see it again before it leaves theaters, because as a Sonic fan, I had so much fun. I put a spoiler-free review out on the channel. I'm not going to go into too much spoilers here in case people haven't seen it yet, but I do have to admit I might slip up here and there. The movie's great. I think as a movie by itself, it's like an average, a little above average, so like a 6 or 7 out of 10. But when it comes to a Sonic fan watching this movie, it's not just fan service. It has a purpose in the narrative. Some of it is a little bit campy and a little bit silly and goofy, but that's what Sonic has been for all these years, and they just really made Shadow a standout character. And those last 30 minutes is just like taking, adrenaline and just injecting it straight into my veins, because as a Sonic Adventure 2 fan, as a Sonic fan in general, the payoff is crazy. My mouth was agape. I was just in complete shock at what was happening on screen. Just those last few minutes alone, like, if anything, I would go back into the theater just to watch the last third act of this movie. It's so good. I cannot recommend it enough. So if you were on the fence about it still, I recommend you check it out. It's doing a lot of numbers in the box office. It's beating out Mufasa, so that's great. Or at least the last time I checked, a Sonic movie is beating out a Disney movie, which is really good to see. It seems like the directors, the actors are really caring about the source material and the characters, and are really trying to make sure everyone is enjoying it, including the Sonic fans, and it's just much appreciated. It's crazy that all these years going by, but that Sonic used to be ugly Sonic, and it could have been a complete disaster. But the pivot, the change of the design really is full circle here. Could you imagine what Shadow would look like? I mean, they wouldn't even get to a Sonic movie 3 if they kept the old design. So I don't even know why I was going to pose that question. But I'm happy to hear your guys' thoughts below. Have you seen Sonic movie 3? What did you think of it? Try to stay away from spoilers. I know it's tough. I know the movie's already been out for a bit, but some people still haven't seen it because it's been a lot of the holidays lately. But I was blown away. And so those were like the two big things, and they knocked it out of the park. It wasn't like one of the two was a disappointment. And then leading up to that, there was very scarce, trailers and reveals for the movie, because Paramount has a bunch of other movies. They had Smile 2, Transformers 1, Gladiator 2, so they wanted to market those things out before Sonic Movie 3, so we did have to wait a little bit for that. But to hold us over was the game, Shadow Generations, and then the trailers and stuff leading up to that game throughout the year prior. But we also had some stuff on the channel, such as the Fearless music video, and some other silly things like Sonic Lego, which was kind of like a short stop-motion Sonic Lego stuff. Those I was not a fan of. I know they're lower budget. I know they're meant for the younger audience, but like, it's Shadow. His music should be awesome. The Fearless, I'm not trying to, say anything bad about the artist. I just feel like it was very safe. It didn't really feel Shadow. It felt very tame. I'm not saying that you need to have like screamo or violent lyrics or anything like that, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, it was weird. You just saw someone like skateboarding around in black and red with like a very like plain song playing. I don't know, those kind of things I wasn't a huge fan of. The Lego was kind of cute with Shadow being edgy as a Lego, but it was still, it's weird seeing the Sonic characters in Lego form. I don't know if that's just me. So they didn't hit as well, but they didn't need to hit as much as these other things. And so this leads on to what this channel is going to be going forward, because I was really lucky to start really revving up the engines and getting content out on this channel when Sonic Frontiers came out. And I got a lot of good feedback and reviews for that. My channel started to grow a little bit with Sonic Frontiers. Then there was a little bit of a drought, but then we had Sonic Movie 3 speculation videos. We had the hype and build up for Shadow Generations, and then the game came out, and there was a lot of content there. But now it's all done. It's all over. So things are going to slow down when it comes to Sonic news. There's probably going to be some news about a new Sonic game or installment, aside from like the mobile stuff, like the next like Sonic Frontiers 2 or what have you, later in 2025. I'm sure there's going to be something out there. But until those things come out, there's going to be these lulls, these, stopping points. And I really had to sit there and think to myself, do I want to make content just to make content, just to fill in that awkward silence until something new comes out? Or do I only want to put stuff out that is meaningful and impactful to me? And I'm going to do the second one. I'm really only going to put out projects and videos that I enjoy doing and like I actually have a passion and drive to do. I'm not just going to sit here and become, a Sonic news channel that's just going to slowly try to drain speculation and news videos here and there. I might do it from time to time if something interesting pops up, and I'm not knocking channels that do that because they gotta make a living, but it's just not something I see myself being excited about doing. I did have a Sonic Riders video in the works. I kind of scrapped that for a bit. I need to know like how many people would actually be interested in it, because that's going to be a very long video, so I would need to engage if an audience would even want to see it, because I'm not going to put in 15 hours of work for a video for like 2 people to see it. That just doesn't seem very satisfying or payoffing to me. I have the remaking of Sonic Forces series. I got through episode 1 and 2. I promised episode 3. It's not going to be done by this year. I'm sorry. I just got a little bit busy with other stuff, and with the Shadow Generations drop, that really delayed things. But people seem to like it, so I will try to work on that some more, get some fleshed out details, and make that series a main staple for the channel. And besides that, I'm going to be experimenting. I'm going to be trying new things. We're still going to stay Sonic exclusive. We're still going to see how we can adapt and change depending on YouTube's algorithm. I was very close to my goal this year. I was very close to hitting the watch hours that I needed to get where I needed to be. So we still have another day to do that. I think it's a year, and then it resets. So we'll just have to see how that looks. That might motivate me to go one way or the other. We'll have to see. But regardless, I want to thank you guys so much that have, 1, stayed and listened to this whole video, this whole yap sesh. 2, the people that have subscribed to this channel and checked out the content and really just dedicated your time to some of the videos that I've done. I really do appreciate it. I know some of it's lower effort than others, but I really do appreciate you taking the time and sharing your excitement for the shared interest of Sonic the Hedgehog. But with that being said, I hope to see you in the new year. I hope you have a great new year. I might do a video of me visiting the Sonic Symphony. We'll see. If you haven't seen Sonic Movie 3 yet, I highly encourage you to go and check it out. If you haven't played Shadow Generations, please do that as well. This is not an advertisement. This is not a sponsorship. But Sega, Sonic Team, if you want to open doors, I'm here. I mean, I'm a very small channel, but, you know, I'll never say no to that. I'm OCDsaster, and I hope you have a super Sonic rest of your day. See ya.